Talk with Freema. Today we have with us Reverend Dr. Valerie Bartley. She's an inspirational speaker, and she's going to speak with us about relationships, God, and love. So, if I can call you Val, we got a little acquainted already. What brought you to want to be this inspirational speaker and speak about all these great things that we need to hear?
One of the things is life experience, and I always think that the best times anyone can learn is what they've experienced in life. And my life experience is what I mainly share with others. And through that, I realized that I can empower someone else who had this experience that I had, good, bad, and ones that you're like, oh God, what's going on? So it was my experience, the life experience that I had, that I endured, and I can still stand and have a peace of mind that without it, I wouldn't be as strong.
You wouldn't be as strong. And I think that's the best way, even in everyday life, just experiences. And sometimes I feel that hold a greater, I don't know the word to use, a greater, I don't know, background, knowledge is by experiences. Sometimes it don't always have to be on paper or, you know, educational wise. That's just my view, but life experiences. So when it comes to relationships, when you say talk about relationships and then it leads to God and love, what do you mean?
The foundation. And when you were saying about, I strongly believe in a life experience build a foundation within you. And where God comes in, and many of us, I won't tell you that I woke up as a saved woman, I didn't wake up, but that relationship begins is when you came out of your mom's womb. And whatever shape that would happen in that time span where you met God or had a relationship with God, it has a very impact on your decisions in your relationships. Marriages, or let's back up, relationships where boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever. But when those choices are made, and I found out now, I can say now where I am now, if I would have already had that reared in the home, like the Bible says, I think I probably would have made better choices, as you know. But I feel that the relationship that I have from my mom and to now, it was very important. Coming out of a single parenting and just looking at that Bible and looking at it, where some people would, you know, when growing up, there's status quo. Coming out of a single parent home, there's a child going to act a certain way, and right now where I am today, I'm a living witness, knowing that yes, you can come out of a single home or have that relationship, but being that I never had my father, many people want to put so many reasons why people act the way they do, but I can only speak in my voice on my experience. What you've done or you're doing, that's your journey. But my life journey was mine. Therefore, I can only speak on relationship because of my relationship with my mom, not having my dad, but also having male figures in my family that I look up to, which is my mom, brothers and sisters, brothers and also sisters. But also, I was listening to something today. They were saying that you see men trying to receive things, and Ayana was one of my mentors as well that I see. Just watching her, she was just saying that she was looking for something, and I find myself saying, no, I don't think I was looking for something. I don't look for love in because my family had me in a relationship where I was always kept protected by them until I went into a world of secular and spiritual, and those two worlds, when it met, I found myself struggling to find out that when I had my family, I always had love. I was always surrounded by love, despite did not even know what status quo was about a single parent and what they felt that a child will become because he or she came out of that situation. And I see that now that it does not have any impact on a child. This is my voice.
That's your
you
voice.
may be out there thinking something different, but I can only speak in my voice and my area where I was reared, meaning that my family always covered me and kept me away from things that they felt that a child should not do. So, and I thank God for that. And I was actually reared by my mom and my grandmother.
And your grandmother.
And my grandmother always instilled in me on how to take care of myself and how, what I should do and what I should not allow to happen to me.
Right.
So,
and now that you say that, and I don't know if we spoke about this previously, but I mentioned someone put something on Facebook about, now that the kids are home due to all this coronavirus and stuff like that, because you were mentioning it's more of love, feeling love from who you're with, who you're staying with, who's bringing you up. But they said, be mindful, take this time to be with your children. I could be saying this wrong, but in a nutshell, don't break them down. Don't make them feel like they are a burden on you. Because a small child, a young adult, I'm going to say small child, is someone you can mold.
That's right.
But if you break that child down and feel like they're burdening you because of this mishap that we have no control over, it's hard to, I guess, like, bring an adult out of it. Or it's hard to make an adult, I don't know, change their mindset once they're broken.
That's right.
So I guess like at a time like this, love on your children.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
And that's what we're trying to encourage everyone to do. You have children, always remember that was a gift from God, that God gave you that. And one of the things we have to understand, that God is allowing us to be able to have that space with our children to understand what is important.
Right.
Is that job that bringing you money? But God is shutting everything down to let you know, I am God. And I want you to know the only thing you should know that I provide. Take time out and teach your children that no matter what's going on in the world, that you have time for them, despite what it is. Because most of us have 2 or 3 jobs, and it seems as if we're never paying the bills.
Right.
But you have to understand that there's a time God is putting us in a place right now just to let us know that God, you're real. Even in the times such as this, He's still real. Right. Some people may feel that God, where is God? He's allowing all this to happen, but God is still real.
Right.
And I just feel that relationship and that personal relationship with your children, with God, is very important. And the home is where it all starts. Yeah. The foundation of where your relationship with each other, relationship with God, in any relationship. Because every time you in a relationship, always take it back where that individual was brought, but not beat them down because they was lack of whatever society says.
So let me ask you this. I was in the shower this morning and I thought about it. I said, is it fair in a relationship, and tell me from your perspective, how soon? Is it fair in a relationship to ask questions? How were you brought up? Tell me about your life. Tell me where you come from. Tell me your ups and downs. So you'll know if that's something you want to take on, because a broken adult is someone hard to deal with if they're still broken. Right. So is that a fair conversation to have with someone that you're dating? So to kind of know where they come from.
And most of the time that happens that should be happening during that time of dating.
Okay.
And they say many people is not broken, but people, broken.
Yeah.
Who's hurt, always hurt other people.
Hurt people hurt.
So
my friends tell me all the time. Yeah.
So I feel that that's very important to find out, and that's where you're getting to know that individual, because a lot of things that God put in our faces, and we just so blind. We so see love,
right,
and we don't really see the agape love. We see the agape love, but it's a stick when we have a male in a relationship that you want to marry, or a female that you want to marry. There should be something that you and him have become.
That's true.
And you should know that by answering, okay, if he's coming out of a home with a mom or a dad, or different, I was told. And I've experienced, and I still today feel that our, males seem like is having a struggle out there, but even females.
Yeah.
But what you see today, you have more stronger female being independent, as if we don't need a man.
Mm-hmm. Is that wrong?
Yeah.
And wrong?
Society has brought us to a place where you see most women are raising their children.
Right.
And the color, I don't like to talk about it, but it's the truth. Most African American men seems to be more leaving home than staying. Most men, most African Americans. I can only speak for me.
Okay.
And somebody out there may be upset, but if they have not been reared about with a provider there, women is not today staying around long enough to wait until you get it together.
Right. That's the truth.
They are not waiting
We don't feel
around
we have to wait around
for you to get it together. And because they know they have a child looking at them.
Exactly.
That needs to be fed.
Exactly.
And they're going to get up and get it together, regardless.
We have no choice.
I feel, back to your question, yes, that should be in a place where that dating takes place. And let's extend that dating before you begin to become intimate.
Right.
And when you begin to put intimacy, that means you know what I'm talking about, intimacy. Yeah. Women are different. Women get more connected emotionally when that connection happens.
Right.
And men is not they're not much connected with when you have intimacy. My experience, okay?
Right.
Which, because I know someone out there, but we have to understand, how long are you gonna stay connected, even when it's time to say disconnect?
Right.
How long?
And a lot of us stay connected even when we know it's time to disconnect.
That's right.
Or we get connected even we see those red flags in the beginning saying don't do it.
That's right.
We still do it.
And I'm still struggling with that.
Yeah, a lot of us are.
When you see the answer already is no more.
Right.
You still trying to hold on.
Yeah.
And you got those voices start coming to you. Why are you holding on? And you know what? For me, if it wasn't for God, I think I would be disconnected quicker. Then I will, I would probably be disconnected quicker. I mean, when I say disconnected,
like
just don't even have any hope to think that it will be mended if it wasn't for my relationship with God. Because I would have said it.
That would have been done.
Done and finished. And also God's, when you think of God, it's always love. Because if you can't think of God without love, and love without God,
right?
Because God has put up with me, with us, with some stuff.
Definitely put up
that we thank God for grace and mercy,
right?
And I always take that in consideration too. I said, you know what? That's why I'm still connected. It's because I knew I was messed up, and I still fall.
Right.
And thank God for grace. Not perfect, but always asking God for forgiveness,
right?
And letting Him know that I will miss the point. And when I do, I thank God for Him getting me right.
Right.
Because when you come to your realization that you're not perfect and that you can laugh at yourself,
right,
and get it together, then you have to realize that you can only take care of that little circle that you're in.
Exactly.
Anyone else, you can't. You can't change. You can't allow, nobody can change you. You can't change nobody. But you have to be in a place where you have to expect some things for yourself. You have to expect joy for yourself. If you want to be loved, you got to love yourself first.
That's right.
Because nobody can love you if you can't love yourself.
That's absolutely right.
And how can you say, I want you to love me, but you're sitting there and love yourself? And that's another thing that I noticed, that a lot of relationships happens and you see they're cheating and they're going everywhere, they're doing this and doing that, and then you find yourself, do they realize what's going on? You ask yourself, do they know what's going on?
They do, but they don't want to see it.
And that's when you have to take care of yourself and make a decision. Am I going to stay?
Right.
Or am I going to take time for me to get my mind right?
To get your mind right.
To get your mind right. To make decisions. And when you have children, it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
Women, eyes go straight taking care of that child. But most of the time, the male is hurting too. But one thing about male, they're not going to communicate like women. Women, we talk. Men will keep it in, and they keep it in, and the high rates of heart attacks and all that is coming from men because they keep everything in, and we are more out.
Right.
We love to express ourselves.
Do you think it comes from how men grew up? Like a lot of men were taught, you better not cry. You know,
Yeah.
men don't cry.
Yeah.
You better not cry. So now it's like,
That's
okay,
right.
I can't even show my emotions. I don't want to show it.
Yeah,
You know,
I strongly believe that.
You think
that,
so?
I strongly believe that's part of it. That's part of it. But
it's okay to cry, man. I think so personally. I think it's okay to cry.
yeah, it is.
Gotta let it out.
A lot of men are. A lot of men that I've seen cry. You know, they felt vulnerable. Not they feel
Oh,
that
they
that's
feel
a
less of a
weakness
man or something?
Yeah, but you can't cry.
Oh, it's okay to
'Cause
cry.
we don't mind.
We're
crying.
all human. Exactly. I
Well,
cry
Jesus
hard.
cried. God, you know, God wants you to know it's good. But one thing about it, as a female, I cried.
Mhm.
As my experience, I cried. And because of crying, it does not say we're weak.
Right.
It makes, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. When we cry, that means we already have it.
That's
we
it.
already up there.
Yeah.
It has gone, you know, it's enough.
It's enough.
And when we're fed up, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. And hard getting back into that hard. And that's again, that God, it will mend our heart. But He doesn't want us to be ignorant to the point of not taking care of ourselves.
Right.
Knowing that there is joy. I have joy, and my favorite song is This Joy That I Have.
Mhm.
The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. And that's my song. I strongly believe is joy and happiness is two different things. Joy is something that stays.
Okay.
Happiness is just like if I turn that
Moment,
flashlight
emotion.
moment. Yeah.
Okay.
So my joy stays with me because I find joy within. And when I know that I can depend on God, that
Mhm.
always there with me, and I know that He'll never judge me, reject me,
Right.
or just try to just judge me for anything that I've done, I know I can depend on Him, because if it wasn't for Him, I ask myself, where would I be?
Right.
Through relationships that was disappointing, rejections, through intimacy relationships, through people working with, people in ministry,
Mhm.
all that comes together, knowing that if it wasn't for God, I would have leave everything on the table and said, forget this. But because I was doing it for the purpose and the plan that He ordained me,
Right.
and that is to serve Him and others. And that's what makes me keep getting up every day and keep moving forward.
Right.
To know that it was His love and grace. It was Him that took me. It was Him that protected me through danger and sickness and things that are going on today.
Right.
And I strongly believe right now, take time out for your household. Take time out with those people that you see every day that you wake up with. Take time out, because every day is never promised, freedom. Every day is never promised. We're experiencing, during this time right here, our children are out doing everything. We're just losing our kids to the street. And I'm one, mine ain't perfect, but I know one thing. There's a journey for everybody. And every journey is a life experience.
Right.
And everybody know that if you live, all of us shall die. But through that birth and death experience, those experiences are very vital. And God wants you to know that those experiences that He wants you to know between those times, those are choices that He gives all of us the free will to choose, and hope that we choose that is something that He's pleasing with.
Right.
And I just pray that every day, that during this time, that we do get to know each other. Because we can live with each other, we still don't know each other.
That is
And that means our children don't even know us. They see mommy back and mommy and daddy back going out the door.
Right.
And they don't probably see mommy and daddy until that night or the next morning.
It's time for bed.
And we gotta understand, try not to get so much that you know you can't afford.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
And
true.
relationships are breaking up for that, for finance.
For finances, living beyond your means.
That's right.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
That's correct. Because all the things that we see, we're gonna leave it on here. Get wealth. And people think that I always say transforming lives and building wealth is all about money. No, building wealth is about knowledge.
Right.
Knowledge is wealth. And if you don't have the knowledge of what to do now, in this time where churches are closing, businesses are closing, if you work at a job hourly, what are your plans?
Right. Who prepared for something like this? That's why you say it gotta be knowledgeable.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
And if you don't take that knowledge and use it, it's useless. And also take that knowledge, but help somebody else. Anything you do in life is, if you're selfish, don't do it. If you can't help somebody else, don't do it. Because God gave his best out of love, which was his son. He gave the best for us. And God loves us enough to know that if it wasn't for the love that he has for us, we could have been in the number. 9/11, we could have been in a number of hurricanes, all the storms and all the things that are happening. But because you trust him, because you continue to love everybody, no matter who they are, love everybody. And make sure any time you come in a relationship or have any contact with anybody, that you show love.
Right.
Show love. You don't, no matter what color, no matter what status, if they're middle class, rich, poor, whatever. Walk in love.
Right.
And I want to share something.
Yeah, definitely.
It says, when you're in a relationship, I want you to take this. Whoever loves you in love lives in God, God them. Ephesians 4 says, be completely humble, gentle, be patient, bearing one another in love. 1 Peter 4:8 said, above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins. John 15, my command is this, love each other as I have loved you. And when we think about God, God is a spirit, and those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. And 1 John 4:8 said, anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love. And I think what I said today brought everything together. And 14 of John, 14 chapter 6 verse said, Jesus said to him, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. And lastly, love. What is love? 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through the 5th verse. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It's not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. And this is what I built my life on. Having a relationship with people. Because I love God and I love people. Have and know God for yourself.
Right.
Know God, know you better than you know yourself.
Right.
Know that God, you can't hide nothing from God. And know that love conquers all. And that's what I find that relationship, God and love is doing this time. Get to help somebody in the time like this. Get to know him personally more and more. Grow in him. And share that love to everybody. Despite you know them or not.
Right.
Always have a kind word to say to somebody. Now, did I say you're going to get it back?
Right. You can
No, you're not. You represent him. And when you represent God, God will take care of you. I want to live plus 70 years.
Right.
To let everybody know that he is real. And he's real right in this heart of mine. And God wants you to know he's going to allow those ones who are not going to love you to make you even humble and respect them for their choice, but not allow them to make you hate them.
Right.
Or like them.
Right. All right now. Where we at? I think we're at 30 minutes already, so that kind of sums it up, and that ended it on a great note. They're really hit, especially this one. That's why I was kind of reading it when you were doing it, because I'm not easily angry. Like a lot of people like, you're just so nonchalant. No, I'm not.
That's right.
Can't steal my joy.
That's right.
That's all to it.
That's right.
So thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate it, and I hope you come back and back and back, because we need stuff like this.
Definitely.
I appreciate that.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
All right. God bless you.
Yes.
And thank you for tuning in. Till next time.